Hey peeps, we're about to learn how, with just 2 points, we're going to use point-slope form to write the equation of a line, and then convert that into slope-intercept form. It's going to be a party. But we need to remember a few things. So, if we have a point on a line, the x value and the y value, we'll call it x1 and y1, and we have the slope of that line, we can write the point-slope form of the equation like this. Y minus the y value of our point equals the slope times x minus the x value of our point. So this y and this x will stay in the equation, but the m, the x1, and the y1, we're going to plug in our numbers for those. And we have 2 points to pick from, so we have a point on the line, but we need our slope. So then we're going to have to remember how we find the slope. Slope of a line given 2 points is the difference of the y values divided by the difference of the x values. So just to help me keep track, I'm going to write the points on top of each other, like so. -2, 1, 4, 0, because that'll help me make sure that I don't switch the order of my subtraction. So I'm going to do subtract the y values, so 1 minus 0 on top, and then subtract the x values, -2 minus 4 on the bottom. 1 minus 0 is 1, -2 minus 4 is -6, and we got a positive divided by a negative, so the overall slope is going to be negative, -1/6. Alright, so I've got my m now, I got my m equals -1/6. That's an important fact. And then I've got my x1 and my y1, and I'll show you that it really doesn't matter which one you pick. You have 2 points, they're both a point on the line, so either one you pick will be just fine. I'll start off showing you how to do it with the first point. So right now my x1 is going to be 4 and my y1 is going to be 0. So for me to put this in point-slope form, I'm just going to use this. Y minus y1, which is 0, equals m, my slope, -1/6, times x minus x1, and x1 is 4. So this is point-slope form of my equation. So I did this part. Yay! Now I need to see how to turn this into slope-intercept form. And the way to turn the way to turn point-slope form into slope-intercept form is to distribute. We need to distribute the slope and then get y by itself. In this case, y minus 0 is just y, so it's already going to be by itself. So -1/6 times x is -1/6 x. And then -1/6 times -4. Negative times negative is going to be positive. And when we multiply fractions, we have to think of this as 4 over 1. And then we multiply top times the top, bottom times the bottom. So 1 times 4 will be the new top. 6 times 1 will be the new bottom. And then I can reduce this fraction. Y equals -1/6 x. Now 4 is 2 times 2, and 6 is 3 times 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, so those divide out. So this fraction 4/6 reduces to 2/3. Okay, now I will reveal the answers that it shows you on the answer document. So we've got our point-slope form, and we've got our slope-intercept form, and I just want to show you real quickly that even if we picked this point, we would have a slightly different point-slope form, which is fine, but we'll have the same slope-intercept form. So right down here, I'm going to do this with my x1, y1 being -2, 1. This is my x1, this is my y1. So I'm going to plug in now. Y minus y1, which is the 1, equals m, negative 1/6, times x minus x1, and that's negative 2. Well, minus a negative is plus, so that'll be plus 2. So that would be my point slope, which is totally fine. It would be just as correct to have this say y minus 1 and x plus 2. And the reason it's correct is because when you distribute, y minus 1 equals negative 1/6 x, and then this is going to be minus 2/6, which is 1/3. Then to get y by itself, add 1 to both sides, and you get y equals negative 1/6 x, and then you have to do negative 1/3 plus 1. Well, 1 is 3/3, right? 3/3 is 1. So negative 1/3 plus 3/3 is 2/3. You see how we end up with the same slope-intercept equation, regardless of what point we picked to do our point slope.